الله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي وفقنا لحضور هذه المجالس الحسين عليه السلام. I begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. I thank Allah for providing us with this opportunity to attend the majalis of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Today I'm here to talk to you about the lessons of Karbala, and how Karbala is not just a story to listen to and to cry and to mourn about. But Karbala has a deeper meaning, and we must learn from this tragedy. Today, a few days ago, we remembered Abu Fadl Abbas and his story. As you all know, Abu Fadl Abbas was Imam Hussein's brother, and he demonstrated how to be the best brother one can be. He volunteered to go to the river of Al-Furat to fetch some water, to obtain some water for the thirsty women, children, and his brother Imam Hussein. Unfortunately, he did not return. But what are we able to learn from Abu Fadl Abbas and his story? Well, first of all, he showed us how to be the best brother, the best uncle, and a very pious person. He showed that brotherhood in Islam is very important, and so is putting the needs of others before yourself. Abbas alayhi salam lifted the water in his hands and dropped it because he did not want to quench his thirst before his brother Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The first big lesson that we could take from this story and use in our daily lives is brotherhood in Islam. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam narrated that there are two types of people in this world. They are either your brother in Islam or your brother in humanity. Obviously there's a third level of brotherhood, which is being a blood brother, which is the closest and strongest bond that you can have. However, the Holy Quran says, إِنَّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَخْوَةً, meaning that the true believers are brothers. And in Arabic, the word akhwa is used to describe blood brothers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to tell us that true believers are just like blood brothers, because you both believe in Allah and you worship Allah through the same messenger and Ahlul Bayt. So I ask you, why? Why is it that we have so many problems amongst ourselves, our community, and our society? As followers of Ahlul Bayt, we must take the initiative to promote peace and stand beside our sisters and brothers in Islam. But how do we do this? Well, first of all, we must make sure we don't separate into smaller groups, and we must treat everyone as equals and not favor some people over others. A good example of showing that we are a strong community is praying in jama'ah. This is one of the many reasons why Allah has promised us more deeds if we pray jama'ah, so we can stand united and strong. In Karbala, Imam Hussein alayhi salam demonstrated how to be a good brother even to his enemies and the kuffar. When Harb ibn Yazid al-Rayahi and his army ran out of water, Imam Hussein gave his enemies water, even when he knew this was the army that was going to kill him. Because of his generosity and mercy, Harb decided to leave his army and join Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And this is what we have to do, my brothers and sisters. We must follow the Ahlul Bayt and prepare ourselves for the reappearance of our beloved Imam al-Mahdi ajalallahu ta'ala farajah. If our Imam calls upon us and asks us, do we have any enemies, we must be able to say no, because a true believer does not create enemies. However, if you do have enemies, we must be kind to them, even in the worst situation, just like Abu Fadl Abbas and Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Islam and the Ahlul Bayt teach us to be loving and help everybody, even if they do not ask for help. It is recommended that we offer our help. This is what we can do to help strengthen our ties and relationships in our community. Which brings me to my next point. We must all be willing to put people's needs in front of our own. Today's society emphasizes you and how you should be the best with the best job, car, and worldly possessions. The media encourages us to gain power over others by obtaining materialistic goods. But these materialistic goods will not help us in the akhirah. All this emphasis is on individualism, and this is not what Islam teaches us. Islam and the Ahlul Bayt have always taught us to stand together for what is right and for the truth. One of the furu'ud din is Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy 'anil Munkar. This was one of the main purposes of going to Karbala. Imam Hussein and his companions wanted to promote the truth and to forbid evil. However, one cannot do this alone in this society. A great example is the 72 companions of the Imam alayhi salam. They put the needs of Imam Hussein before themselves. Imam Hussein left Medina with 1,000 armed soldiers, but over 90% of them were not mu'mineen, and so they deserted the Imam because they wanted the authority. But this is not what Islam teaches us. Zainab al-Kubra alayhi salam asked the Imam the night before Ashura, have you examined your companions thoroughly? Will they stay? The Imam replied, yes, I have examined them very well, and they are the best of companions. One man overheard Zainab and asked her, "O granddaughter of the Messenger of Allah, do you question our loyalty to your brother Abu Abdullah al-Hussein?" He moved on to say, "If the enemy cuts me up into 1,000 pieces and burns me and repeats this 1,000 times, we will not leave Sayyidi wa Malai Abu Abdullah. All we are going to do is fight and die once for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no chance that we will leave now." These were the companions of the Imam, and this is what we have to do, my brothers and sisters. And we have to reach the status if we want to be part of the companions of our beloved Imam al-Mahdi, Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman. I ask Allah to hasten the appearance of our beloved Imam, and inshallah we will all be among his followers. I conclude dua al-Faraj. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma kun waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. Salawatuka alayhi wa ala abaih. في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائلا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. رحم الله من قال سورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات. اللهم صل على محمد